Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. My, oh my, it's a wonderful day. How you doing? Happy Friday, 16th day of April, 2021. I am Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And the hits just keep on coming. Another gorgeous day coming our way. We hit 74 yesterday, just 3 off the record high for April 15th, 77. And we may, in fact, I'm pretty sure we are going to break the record high temperature for this date, April 16th, a little bit later on today. Our record for this date, 76 degrees. That was set back in 1999. We have a very good chance of surpassing that. We will be into the 80s on Saturday and Sunday, and then a big change coming. A cold front will be rolling in, but luckily the cold front won't be rolling in until after sunset on Sunday, and it's not going to be a big dramatic change in the weather. It's just going to be a little breezier and a little cooler, but still well above normal. Our normal high this time of the year is 62, so the heat wave continues, sunny, dry, and warm, high pressure, large and in charge. It's a forecast you're going to like. Lots of news to get to, some good COVID numbers from the Chelan Douglas Health District. We continue to see our thermographic slide down. That's what we want to see. Guess who's in first place in the American League West? The Seattle Mariners. Yeah, doubleheader sweep from Baltimore yesterday. They're back in town tonight, taking on the Astros. We'll talk about the first place Mariners. It's fun to say that any time of the year. Also, we'll preview the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. We'll be there tomorrow night for the first night of racing. And speaking of that, we're going to give Jeremy one more blast of love because we love Jeremy Anders. We went up there and talked to Jeremy a little while ago, and we're going to replay the interview I did with Jeremy Anders, the general manager of Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, to preview tomorrow night's racing. We'll have that for you in the back half of the hour. 44 degrees, bountiful sunshine. Here we go. I'm ready. Hope you are. Let's take our tour around the Wenatchee Valley. Sun is up. Came up at 6:10 this morning. Sunset tonight, 7:52. 13 hours and 42 minutes of daylight. We're getting about 90 seconds more of daylight each day as we get deeper and deeper into spring. And one of the ways you can measure the amount of sunlight we're getting earlier in the morning is the fact that now the East Wenatchee area is bathed in sunlight after the sun rises above the bench. For quite a while there, of course, it bathes Wenatchee in sunlight, but East Wenatchee stays in the shadows for a while. But now East Wenatchee is starting to get some of that early morning sun on this beautiful Friday morning. Gorgeous view. Love it. My oak tree is going crazy. Yesterday was such a beautiful day. It was almost impossible to stay inside. It's going to be even harder today and even harder on Saturday. Camera number 2. Ooh, great view there, Megan. That's, I want to say, I don't know, Steins? Hey, that's the Steins camera. I got one right. So we have that pointed directly to the northwest. That's on its way up to Dryden and Peshaston and eventually Leavenworth, the Wenatchee River down there, the orchards hanging around. There's the highway, Steins Hill. If we turned it around 180 degrees, we'd be looking at Cashmere, but we have it turned back the other way. So the canyons, Hay Canyon, Alala Canyon off to your right, and a beautiful view from our friends in Dryden and Peshaston in the Upper Valley. Camera number 3. That's a great view, by the way, Megan. I like that one. Jump Off Ridge says good morning, and we say good morning to Jump Off Ridge. 3 lakes in view to your far right. You can see a couple of the 3 lakes anyway. Across the river, the Highlander Golf Course. We'll be hanging around there on May 13th for the annual Apple Blossom Golf Tournament. Looking forward to that. The Stimmill Basin directly below from a great view from Jump Off Ridge. Wow, we're off to a great start. Can't wait for camera 4. Let's see what's happening. And we got Bill E. Goat zoomed in. Hi, Pateris. Always good to see you. There's the Medhow River emptying into the Columbia River. Pateris, that's pretty much all of Pateris that you see there. And of course, as I mentioned before, we would love to show you the Medhow Valley, which is to your left, but we can't because that's where the pole is. The actual tower that camera is attached to is right in the way, so we don't have any view of the Medhow Valley, but we'll take that. Good morning, Pateris, and our friends in southern Okanagan County. It's always good to see you 4 minutes after the hour. One slide, and that's what's going to happen this weekend. Now, again, going to be just gorgeous today. I'm loving this. These temperatures will be upper 70s to near 80 today. Certainly could break a record high temperature for today. It's certainly within the wheelhouse. We'll be in the 80s on Saturday and Sunday. And this change that's coming our way, but this cold front, not going to come down to our area till Sunday night. Now, it's going to make things a little breezier, and it's going to make things a little cooler, but it's all things being relative. We're going to go from record high temperatures today, tomorrow, and quite possibly Sunday, to warm temperatures above normal. We're talking 70s still on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's just going to feel relatively cooler than normal. So, from the National Weather Service, here we go. I love it when I can show you this. Ta-da! Sunshine today, 77 or 78. Again, almost set a record yesterday. Record high for this date, 76 degrees. We set that back in 1999. It looks like we're going to have a record breaker today. 47 for the overnight low. Record breaker on Saturday. Close to a record breaker on Sunday. I'll have to look at the almanac and see what our record high temperatures were. But for today and tomorrow, we are probably almost certainly going to break high temperatures for the 16th and the 17th. Not quite sure on Sunday. Monday is when things start changing. This cold front's going to come in while you're sleeping Sunday night. So Monday, you're going to wake up to about 42 degrees, and we're going to have sunshine and a little bit of breeze. But it's just going to be cooler. And again, it's all relative. The normal high for this time of the year is 62 degrees. So any way you look at it, we're going to be above normal. We're just going to go from well above normal, record above normal, to just really above normal, if that makes sense at all. High pressure is large and in charge. Cold front comes in, but it's not really going to make things super dramatic. Just sunny and mild and warm. I like that forecast. It is almost 7 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we've got your Friday morning news, and there's a lot of it. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Doghouse Motorsports just won Best Motorsports Store for the 7th year in a row. Is it the great facility? Is it the fantastic products? Or is it?
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tabor.
I'm Mike. And I'm Glenn.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Jeff.
And this is the Doghouse Service Team.
Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Kathy.
Come on in and experience the Doghouse.
Are you in the Doghouse?
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Sunshine, 45 degrees, record high temperature of 77 or 78 later on today. Probably going to break a record on Saturday, pretty close to Sunday too. Record high temperatures, sunny, mild, warm. We cool down a little bit come Monday, and at 8 minutes after the hour, here are your headlines. New COVID-19 numbers are out from the Chelan-Douglas Health District, and we are seeing declines. They're continuing. The latest report showing both counties, Chelan and Douglas, on a path to remain in Phase 3 of the state's reopening plan. The weekly thermographic came out on Wednesday, and it looks something like that. The Chelan-Douglas Health District said the counties combined have a rate of 184 new cases per 100,000 residents over the past 2 weeks. That's down from 223 new cases per 100,000 residents reported last week. Hospitalizations for the virus showed little change. 6 Chelan County residents currently hospitalized with COVID. No Grant County residents hospitalized with COVID. Also Wednesday, the health district reported that 41.6% of all Chelan County residents and 34.3% of Douglas County residents have received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Thursday, of course, everybody aged 16 or older became eligible to receive the vaccine, so vaccination numbers there are likely to show some big-time growth in next week's report. Yeah, eligibility opened up yesterday for all adults to receive their COVID-19 vaccinations, and that includes people 16 and up who want the Pfizer vaccine. That's the only one approved for that age group. The Town Toyota Center mass vaccination site is offering the Pfizer shot only. You can schedule an appointment there by registering on PrepMod or by calling 886-6487. Other vaccine providers like Confluence Health, Columbia Valley Community Health, and Lake Chelan Health, they're asking for volunteers to sign up for call lists. That way they can receive the few shots that are left over at the end of the clinic hours. That way they don't waste any doses. Vaccine recipients under the age of 18, you may need to provide proof of consent from a parent or a guardian. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed a lot in our lives, including the way local farm exports are handled en route to foreign markets. Now, Washington growers depend on buyers in Asia for a lot of their profits, and Congresswoman Kim Schreier says she's asking trade officials to look into the situation.
There was already a trade imbalance. Right now, in the context of COVID, that imbalance has shifted to, I believe, 3-1. So we are importing 3 times as much as we are exporting. And so the forces of a free market are really pushing carriers to return empty containers to China to pick up more and more expensive cargo to bring here. And then because they are turning around so quickly, our farmers are not getting predictable arrival times. They're not getting ships that will wait for their cargo to go. And in the meantime, they're being charged more. They're having also D&D fees at the port if they miss a ship or if they get there too early because of unpredictability. And so the farmers are hurting.
With Washington's law on drug possession stricken by the Washington State Supreme Court, former defendants are now asking local courts for new sentences. And the first legal motions have now arrived in Chelan County Superior Court after the State v. Blake decision. One is from a defendant convicted of methamphetamine possession in 2020. They're asking that his sentence be vacated and his DOC supervision removed. But lower courts aren't yet sure whether the Blake decision applies retroactively to past drug convictions. Prosecutors in Spokane County and elsewhere have asked the court to reconsider its ruling, which would mean not just overturned sentences, but millions of dollars in court fines and fees returned to the defendants. The first motions to vacate, however, aren't likely to be heard until next month. A bill that just passed in the legislature should put an end to lawsuits that seek unpaid overtime for farm laborers. It's Senate Bill 5172, and it phases in new overtime requirements, with time and a half kicking in after 55 hours starting next year. By 2024, overtime becomes effective after 40 hours. Now, the bill also protects the farming sector from being sued for retroactive pay from the previous 3 years. Agriculture employers have faced millions in claims for lost wages in recent years as courts have ruled that their pay practices are unconstitutional. 12th District Senator Brad Hawkins opposed the bill. Representatives Keith Gaynor and Mike Steele voted for the bill in the House, where it passed last week, 91-7. Now, this is a cool story. A Douglas County Sheriff's deputy has earned high praise from his boss for helping out a homeless traveler in need. Sheriff Kevin Morris issued an award of merit to Corporal Thomas Williams. Back on April 5th, Williams discovered a man who was displaced by the pandemic camping near the East Wenatchee Grange Hall on Sunset Highway. The camper said he was waiting for his pandemic relief payments so he could travel to Missouri. Williams helped the man relocate his belongings to a public campsite, gave him a ride to an important appointment, and he gave him $40 out of his own pocket to pay for campsite fees and food. In a letter of commendation Wednesday, Sheriff Morris told Williams, quote, "You showed exceptional compassion and leadership by helping those in need," unquote. Good work for Deputy Morris. And that is what's making headlines at 13 minutes after the hour. It is Friday. That means I think we're in for a busy news day with Grant and Cal and the crew gathering news, disseminating news, and getting you news at 5, 6, and 10. With the preview, here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Thanks and good Friday morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, our beautiful spring weather continues with sunny skies and temperatures in the mid-70s to lower 80s through Sunday. But by this time next week, we'll see changes in our weather pattern. I'll have details tonight in your North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom has a preview of our race coverage tomorrow night at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. That and all the day's news coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. Don't forget, if you have a news tip or you just want to drop us a note and say hi, we'd love to hear from you. You can use our Facebook page. Go to our Facebook page, use the Messenger app, and we'll get it. You can email us directly. It's probably the best way to go about doing it. news@ncwlife.com, or you can go to our website, ncwlife.com, and there's a Contact Us icon. Pretty self-explanatory. Going to take a break. When we come back in the world of sports, we'll preview tomorrow night at the WVSO, talk about the first place Seattle Mariners and your prep sports schedule. We'll have the obscure holiday for you coming up as well. Today in history, some celebrity birthdays. Everybody is entitled to Mike Mignotti's opinion. And we're talking racing with Jeremy Anders, an interview that we did at the WVSO to put you in the mood for tomorrow night. We'll have all that between now and 8 o'clock. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Wenatchee Power Sports not only has a new owner, but an all-new attitude to match. Speaking of attitude, check out the 2021 models arriving now. Polaris snowmobiles, ATVs and side-by-sides. Yamaha motorcycles, watercraft ATVs and side-by-sides. KTM motorcycles and the latest edition Beta high-performance motorcycles. Coming this fall, a huge demo event featuring the latest and hottest off-road machines. It's all at the retuned Wenatchee Power Sports, where maximum performance is a way of life. 3031 GS Center Road in North Wenatchee, open Tuesday through Saturday.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CBCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CBCH respects that.
"16 minutes after the hour, sports. Last year was supposed to be a banner year for the WVSO, the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. It was their 50th year of racing, and they had 14 races on the schedule. They were ready to go, and then, well, COVID came, and that was pretty much it. April and May wiped out completely, no racing at all. And then in June, the doors opened wide enough for racers to race, but no fans.
And a very good afternoon to you. Welcome to a very windy Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. It is opening night here at the Oval, and a strange place to be because the wind is whipping through a set of grandstands with no fans. We appreciate you tuning in for our broadcast here on the NCW Live channel. It's the Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning opening night at WVSO.
That was back on June 27th of last year, and that partnership began between us, the NCW Live channel, and the WVSO. And since nobody could attend, we televised all 7 races that they had last year over the last 4 months.
Now you got to be worried about the 71 and the 14. What damage did that do? Contact! Look out, Aper!
Heading towards the wall. Everybody's
Good
okay.
Save. Good save. John Doyle's going to come by and win the season opener here at Wenatchee. Outstanding racing from the Dick's Heating Air Conditioning Thunder Cars. Osborne with the nose in front. Grinder comes fighting back. Osborne slides. Grinder fights back, but Osborne leads the lap. But off of turn number 4, 1 for 1 in the Thunder Cars this season, Seth Frazier wins the opener. Race fans watching at home as they come through 3 and 4, wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point harness. It is showtime!
It's a Quincy clash here tonight at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Brother, side by side.
9 to go. Here comes Glenn to the outside. Got the run off turn 2. Mike tries to shut the door. Big slide out of Mike Knudsen. Glenn's going to lead the lap. It's down the backstretch. 3 in a row. The hottest driver in the Northwest does it again. Glenn Knudsen wins the Wenatchee season opener.
We're underway. No, they're going to say absolutely not, and we got cars getting together. Hopefully there's no fluids coming out of the back of that thing here, but now he he spins out right in front of your leader. Look out.
Oh, nice job of driving.
And that yellow flag is going to come
Dale
out.
Winterberg to not get entangled in the car sliding in front of him.
Hold them off through 3 and 4. Win number 3 on the season. Seth Frazier, still undefeated in main event action, wins at Wenatchee. Garrett Huff finds second. Contact, and around goes Doyle.
Doyle goes around, and third place is going to go to Mike Sims. Holy cow.
He's peeking low. He's got to run once, and they crash.
Oh my gosh.
One's got loose. They connect, and Gary Holmad is going to inherit the race lead. Ingram in traffic. Baker. This could open the door for
going to
Griner.
spin him around. Look out. Griner comes to the finish line.
They hit. He still won.
I think
Ingram still won.
Oh my gosh.
Robertson trying to get up front. Remember,
Oh, we got a
second.
car sideways, and look out.
Havens around, Evans around.
Oh my, front end
Glenn
damage.
Knudsen involved. Lance Elliott from Wyoming involved. Evans, I think, got the worst of it there.
Brent Harris with damage to the front of his car.
Down the backstretch, Garber gets the nose in front. Side by side, the line, Klein will slide. They spin. Doyle gets through. Klein wins, Garber's out. O'Neal and Las Manas collide. They finish third and fourth.
Of course, it was Elam that won the heat race here earlier as they
He
go
wants
3
it.
wide.
3 wide in the turn 3. Doesn't always work. Not going to work.
Look out, look out.
Hey, we saved it. We might get him here. Got the spot, got the pass, got the lead. Chad Holliday.
Let's make sure we don't have any. Oh, he threw.
And he threw the steering wheel. Just saves it and lands on the tow truck. Batter up.
There you go.
Wow, that was fun last summer, and we're back at it again this summer. Here is your lineup for this weekend, the 2021 season opener at the WVSO. It's the Spring Sizzler and the Tommy Wentz Classic. There'll be 4 classes of racing. You got the Dix Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars, Holiday's Custom Muffler B-Mods, the Plum Perfect Roadrunners of the Northwest Mini Stock Tour. At last count, as of this morning, 30 Thunder Cars are entered, 13 B-Mods, 20 Roadrunners, and 27 Mini Stocks. You add them all up, that's about 110 cars for this weekend. The general manager of the WVSO, Jeremy Andrews, says if you can't make this race to watch tomorrow night, go online and get your ticket for future races.
I would say if you want to come to any of the events, you want to get your tickets right now on WVSO.com. There are limited tickets left for any of the events that we have. We have 3 of our first 3 events on there. It's kind of limited supply, and you can only be guaranteed a ticket by buying it online. The way it's looking right now, will probably be sold out here before we open the gates for the first race. So get your tickets there and come check it out. You know, we got ice cold beer, ice cold Pepsi, great double cheeseburgers, lots of good stuff up here at the track. Come check it out.
Looking forward to it. Again, my complete conversation with Jeremy Andrews will air at the back half of this morning's program, WVSO.com. Everything you need to know. Guess who's in first place in the American League West? The Seattle Mariners. The doubleheader sweep in Baltimore yesterday got the job done. Seattle came from behind in Game 1 yesterday, beat the Orioles 4-2. They were trailing 2-0, top of the 5th inning. Mitch Haniger comes through with a big 2-out bomb.
Mitch leans into this one, baby. Ride, ride, ride. It's gone. Got a 2-2 ball game. Mitch Haniger with his 3rd home run. RBI's eating 9. All of this with 2 outs in the 5th. Money's worth. Fleming Baez, the bullpen catcher, makes the catch out there on this drive off the bat of Mitch Haniger.
And timely for the Mariners. A couple of outs here in the 5th. Again, doubleheader, just 7 innings in this ball game. Good time for Mitch to hit a home run.
To the 6th inning we go. Again, 2 outs in the inning. Up to the plate, J.P. Crawford.
2-2 pitch to Crawford with 2 on. Pulls it. That's a fair ball. Everybody runs. Bishop will score, and Moore is in high motor. Right fielder McKenna gets it back in. Beautifully done by J.P. Crawford. Knocks in 2 with 2 out.
Spoiler alert, we watched the game in the newsroom because, well, we could. Marco Gonzalez is the beneficiary. He earned his first one of the season. He went 5 innings. He allowed 2 runs, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts. Kendall Graveman worked a 1-2-3 7th for his 2nd save. And then Seattle got home runs from Mitch Haniger and Dylan Moore in this 2nd game of the Twin Bill. Plenty of offense for Justin Dunn in a 2-1 win. He looked good, Justin did. 5 innings, get his first victory, allowed 1 run on 2 hits with 6 strikeouts. The Mariners return from a 5-2 road trip. They'll got Houston. First of 3 games tonight, T-Mobile Park. First pitch, 7:10. Seattle is now a half a game ahead of the Angels in the American League West, with L.A. and Houston both idle yesterday. Androlis Garcia's 2-run home run at the top of the 10th gave Texas a 6-4 win over Tampa Bay, and Stephen Piscotty and Matt Olson each went yard. Oakland beat Detroit 8-4. Here's a glance at this weekend ahead in prep sports. We'll start out with boys soccer today. You got Okanagan at Warden at 4:30. Wenatchee at Quincy. Royal hosting Cascade coming up tomorrow. It's Kashmir traveling to Ephrata. Chelan is at Wahluke. Eastmont plays at Moses Lake, and Manson will host Tenasket at 1. Baseball doubleheaders get underway today. Chelan is at Cascade at 3. Quincy plays at Ephrata at 4. They all start at 11 tomorrow morning. Wenatchee will host Moses Lake. Brewster will be at Eastmont. Kashmir travels to Warden. Manson hosts Pateras. Omak is at Elmira, Cooley, Hardline, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Liberty Bell takes on Lake Roosevelt. Tenasket entertains Okanagan. And finally, girls softball. Today, you got 3 o'clock doubleheaders. Cascade at Royal. Manson hosting Pateras. At 4 o'clock, you got Wenatchee entertaining Kashmir, while Luke is at Quincy tomorrow morning at 11. Eastmont hosting Moses Lake. Chelan is at Omak. Brewster takes on Tenasket. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Friday. I had 4 obscure holidays to choose from. National Bean Counter Day. We all know one of those in our lives, somebody who counts every penny. I don't have that discipline. National Healthcare Decision Day. National Wear Pajamas to Work Day. Nope. No. You take a couple of poached eggs, you put them on an English muffin, you put a nice hunk of savory ham in there, you cover the whole thing with a rich hollandaise sauce, and you got yourself Eggs Benedict, which is probably my favorite breakfast meal. According to legend, Eggs Benedict was first invented at Delmonico's, which is a legendary restaurant in Midtown Manhattan. The former chef of Delmonico's, Charles Ranhofer, actually published a recipe called Eggs a la Benedict in 1894. That is the first proof that we have that it came from Delmonico's in New York City, so it's certainly possible. There's all kinds of different Eggs Benedict. The key is always the hollandaise sauce. Hollandaise sauce is the key, but there's all kinds of different Eggs Benedict. You have country-style Eggs Benedict. That's when you put gravy instead of hollandaise sauce on it. That doesn't sound good to me. Eggs Benedict burgers. Yeah, they use 2 English muffins and they put a hamburger between it, and they cover that in hollandaise sauce. You have Eggs Hemingway. That was Ernest Hemingway's favorite. You made it with salmon. It's just like regular Eggs Benedict, but you put a piece of salmon instead of ham on the English muffin. Eggs Florentine, which is spinach instead of ham. Irish Benedict, which is corned beef instead of ham. Blue Duck Eggs Benedict, which is duck instead of ham. Crab Cake Eggs Benedict, which is extremely good. Steak Benedict, it's a piece of steak instead of a piece of ham on down the line. Eggs Benedict, it's a regular breakfast for me. I usually have Eggs Benedict at least once a week for breakfast because I like it. I try to avoid the food-related holidays, but Eggs Benedict, I can't resist it. It's good stuff. 27 minutes after the hour. Today in history, this is the 92nd anniversary of one of the great innovations in baseball history. April 16th, 1929, the New York Yankees take the field with numbers on their backs of their uniforms. Nobody had ever done this before. The numbers corresponding to each player's position in the batting order. So Earl Combs batting first, Mark Koenig batting second, Where's number 2, Babe Ruth number 3, Lou Gehrig number 4, Bob Measle number 5, on down the line. The idea, it would allow fans and broadcasters to easily identify the players on the scorecard. This was a new innovation. Nobody had ever done this before. By 1932, 3 years later, all major league clubs were issuing numbers, and by 1937, it was required. Every player had to have a number on their back. Many uniforms have players' numbers on their back and their front now. The Yankees have never put the players' numbers on the front of their jerseys, and they've never put the players' names on the back of the jerseys, but they came up with the idea of putting numbers on jerseys 92 years ago today. What is that? Take a look at it. If you're a scientist or a chemist, you might know what that is. That's LSD. Albert Hofmann, 78 years ago today, accidentally discovered the effects that LSD has on the brain. A small amount of LSD got synthesized through his fingertips, and then he went, whoa, something's kind of weird here. 3 days later, he actually purposely took a very small amount of LSD orally to figure out what was going on. Nothing happened for quite some time. And so he decided to go home, and he was riding his bicycle home from work when the LSD took effect. By the way, Albert Hofmann continued to take LSD throughout the course of his life. It said it helped him cope with reality. Albert Hofmann accidentally figures out that you take a little LSD and things go a little crazy upstairs. Happened on this date 78 years ago today. We all remember the explosion in Wenatchee in the Appleyard back in 1974. That only killed 3 people. On this date, 74 years ago today, April 16th, 1947, in Texas City, Texas. Wow. An explosion on board a freighter caused another explosion, which caused another explosion. The footage is incredible. It was a small fire on the SS Grant camp. And then, well, she had about 2,000 tons of ammunition of ammonium nitrate. It exploded. It started a chain reaction, which exploded, and another chain reaction, which exploded other ships. in oil refineries and oil storage facilities. At least 581 people were killed in the series of blasts. It wasn't just one big blast. It was one blast that led to another, which led to another, which led to another. At least 581 people died. They don't really know the exact number. The entire Texas City, Texas Fire Department was wiped out. They were fighting the first fire when the second fire exploded, and they were all killed. What a disaster that was in Texas City, Texas, back in 1947. Birthdays. The single most influential figure in American cinema history, Charlie Chaplin. Born in the state in 1889. He did it all. He wrote, he directed, he produced, he composed the music, he edited, he starred in all of his own movies, and he was a perfectionist. He basically made motion pictures an art form. And he insisted on financial independence so he wouldn't have to be answerable to any studios. That way he can take all the time and spend all the money that he wanted to make movies as good as he possibly can. And who's kidding who? The movies of Charlie Chaplin are as watchable today 100 years later as they were when he was making movies in Hollywood at the turn of the century. Charlie Chaplin, born in the state in 1889, died in 1977 at the age of 88. Henry Mancini, before he died in 1994 at the age of 70, he had a mantle full of awards, 4 Academy Awards, a Golden Globe, and 20, count him, 20 Grammy Awards. One of the best-known composers in modern American history, Henry Mancini, born in the state in 1924. Dusty Springfield. I don't know what else to tell you about Dusty Springfield. Just go out and buy a copy of the 1969 classic album Dusty in Memphis, and you'll know what I'm talking about. The legendary Dusty Springfield, born in the state in 1939. We lost Dusty a number of years ago to breast cancer at the age of 59, but the music lives on. In my opinion, the greatest collegiate basketball player ever, and not a bad pro, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 74 years old today. 6 times the NBA most valuable player, 19 times an NBA All-Star. He is still the all-time NBA leader in points scored and career wins. He won more basketball games than anybody who's ever played the game of basketball. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a true winner, 74 years old today. And speaking of winners, love him or hate him, he's the greatest coach in NFL history. The record proves it. Bill Belichick, 69 years old today. 32 minutes after the hour. Mike Magnotti's got an opinion. I'm stunned to hear about that. And then one more time, we're going to replay our visit with Jeremy Anders on a beautiful, if windy, day up at the WVSO. We're racing tomorrow night. Can't wait for that. Me and Jeremy will come back with you. And I hope you come back with us as well. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
It's the huge grand opening of Click It RV in Moses Lake. Click It RV and the RV manufacturers have joined together to offer huge incentives and savings.
You guys gotta beat the spring rush and get in here now.
Everything is coming up zero, with 0 down, 0 payments for 90 days, 0 worries, lifetime warranty, and 0 for a solar panel with any RV purchase. It's a 000 grand opening going on now at Click It RV in Moses Lake. And get into Click It RV for parts, service, new and used during this huge grand opening sale.
Be a winner like me and get to Click It RV.
At Earthwise Pet, we take an all-natural approach to wellness and nutrition. Our professional certified groomers were trained by the best in the Pacific Northwest. Our staff here at Earthwise Pet are all certified in pet nutrition. We are here to help you select the perfect food, supplement, and anything else you may need to make sure your pet is living its best and most healthy life. Earthwise Pet, Nutrition Center and Wellness Spa. Online or in the store, we are here for you.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. Looking for great food that's also an experience? Come on out to Blueberry Hills in Manson. Open year-round and named one of the top 4 restaurants in the state worth the drive for breakfast by the Seattle Times. Serving down-home scratch country cooking with huge portions at family-friendly prices. Great food and a fun experience for the whole family, and definitely worth the drive. For more information, check our website at wildaboutberries.com.
Hi, I'm Shauna Larson. I'm the designated broker here at Laura Mounter Real Estate. We are a locally owned firm, and we've worked hard to earn our reputation of always doing business the right way. Laura Mounter Real Estate is continually investing in the best technologies and highest quality marketing. For these reasons, our community has voted us the world's best real estate office for the past 5 years. If you have real estate needs, let a Laura Mounter real estate agent show you the difference.
Your search for quality patio furniture with excellent customer service is over. Blue Lagoon is proud to offer only the finest outdoor furniture and accessories from some of the most renowned manufacturers in the industry. Our showroom showcases a large selection of in-stock furniture, fire pits, umbrellas, cushions, and outdoor accessories. Our in-house outdoor decor specialist is available to help you design and custom order the perfect furniture for your unique space.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word. I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting. I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse. I can't imagine how we do that.
We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I recently read a book about Johns, you know, the guys who patronize prostitutes. The gist of this book is that prostitution is not an honorable profession, something I agree with, yeah. And that the way to address this issue is to stop prosecuting and persecuting the women themselves who engage in this business, but to change the focus and prosecute the men who engage in this activity. Now, I agree. One of the common denominators of these guys is they're unwilling, for whatever reason, to do the work of forming and maintaining a relationship because deep down they believe women are just there for sex. This attitude has created a massive, overwhelming problem with human trafficking and child exploitation in our society, not just in our country, but throughout the world. Now, it's time to change our focus, folks, and target the men who create the demand for this type of behavior. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Highlander Golf Course is proud to announce their 2 new state-of-the-art full-swing golf simulators with over 80 courses of virtual golf to choose from year-round. Or try their Laser Shot simulated firearm program, or gaming with football, basketball, and much more. Enjoy Highlander food and drink service from their full-service bar and grill in the comfort of their simulator room. Call the Highlander Pro Shop to book your time at 884-4653. That's 884-4653.
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around North Central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Downtown Manson is Washington's best-kept wine secret. Over a dozen tasting rooms are within walking distance. Experience Ancestry Cellars, featuring wines rooted in family traditions. Or SKAGIT Cellars, where East meets West in every vintage. And don't miss Rio Vista Wines, home of the original wine slushie. All 3 are kid-friendly. Isn't it time you had a taste of Manson?
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We are here at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. The gentleman to my left needs no introduction. He's back on the show again, and I'm sorry, the name? Jeremy Anders is the general manager of the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. We love this guy. We really love this guy. It's a year since COVID for you guys. It was supposed to be the 50th anniversary last year. You were still able to put together a race schedule. We were super happy to come up and participate and televise it, Jeremy. But what I'm feeling right now, just in the 10 minutes I have been here, the work crew, the folks from Weinstein are here. I'm getting a good vibe, buddy. I'm getting a really good vibe.
Yeah, last year was going to be our 50th anniversary. We were excited for it. We were looking forward to some big things. We had spent a lot in the offseason to plan it. And then, came along end of March. We had record numbers coming in for our first couple of races. The ticket sales were going great. And then, that all came to a stop. And then came about middle of May that we were able to kick up and start racing action of some sort, but no fans. And that's a bummer because I enjoy fans being here. Our racers enjoy fans being in the grandstands. They feel the energy off them. And so we went the whole entire season. We hoped by the end of the season we're going to have fans of some sort, and that didn't happen. So now we're sitting here, and we're at the point where we can have fans at 25% capacity, and we're moving forward with it. We have some great things planned for this season. We're not going to be able to do the full-blown stuff like we wanted to originally just because of where we're at, but we're hoping by the end of the season we have more capacity, we can do some other things. But our racers are excited. I think we already have 74 race teams registered for the first race from all over the Northwest. We got teams from Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana, all coming in. And I'm pretty sure if the Canadian border is open, we have quite a few from there too. So we're excited about it. And there was things we wanted to do last year. We couldn't do it just because of financial situations. We had a great nest egg built up to do all these maintenance projects, and then that all went away with COVID. Not having any income for a while. So we're trying to do some of those projects now just to make sure it's better for the fans when they come in. We're working today on doing a bunch of bleacher repairs and stuff like that. Of course, we're buying wood for our bleachers at the most expensive time to buy wood. So usually this project would not cost as much money. We probably would replace even more boards to do more work, but just it's a financial thing right now. It costs a lot of money to do it and stuff. But we get our friends from Kuntz Construction out here. They're great supporters like that, helping us with those guys, and they're doing great work. We got some of our maintenance workers out here, putting some fresh coats of paints on some things, and getting some of that stuff done. Redoing some of our other things around here. We got our friends from Weinstein. They're doing their thing where they come do their yearly maintenance. A lot of the stuff in our upper grandstands area up here, we never used any of that stuff last year. We never used our grandstand concession stand. We never used, you guys used our VIP booth last year, but nobody got to use it for up here and stuff. Our beer garden, all that kind of stuff. So when everything shut down for a year, you always have problems. So we've had to call a few of our friends in to make some repairs and do some things, and had to do a deep clean because usually we're not up here for 6 months out of the year, but when you're not using something for 18 months, quite a bit of
the dust gets a little thick.
Yeah, and as we know, we're up here in Fancher Heights. We're in the middle of a sagebrush field. There's a lot of dirt that comes off those mountains behind us up here. So we're usually dusting after every single race or before every single race, but we had quite a bit more dust than normal. So we had some great people coming and clean, and we're trying to give everything to a little. It's a beautiful girl. We call it Wenatchee Valley Super Bowl is a beautiful girl. She just needs a lot of makeup right now. That's the best way I can say it.
When you say 25% capacity, meaning what does that mean numbers-wise? Do you have an official? What's the sellout here, so to speak? Because you have the grassy knoll.
We're adding some more grandstand stuff here, so we're kind of looking at that number right now. We have the grassy hill as well, which is kind of a wild card in there, and so they had to have some stipulations in there of how do you measure the grassy hills like that. So it's a good number. It's not a great number, but it's going to be a pretty good crowd, but it won't be what we have. We have to space we have to put taping down. I mean, that's the other thing that people don't realize when like, oh yeah, you got to do this, but then you got to go spend. I think we spent about $600 and all the extra stuff just for the grandstands, just to put down the taping and the stuff you have to do to space people out and stuff. And that's just that's 30 tickets I got to sell just to pay for that. So there's more income that you have to spend on these things here. It's like I know that I can kind of see why a lot of businesses had a battle. Like, well, gosh, I'd like to open my business, but I'm gonna have to spend this much money right off the bat just to get stuff done. So I understand the reasons behind it, but it's kind of frustrating. So. It'll be a good crowd. We're actually like I said, we're trying to add a few more grandstands. We have our area down in Turn 4, which we're going to allow to have kind of open seating. People can bring their lawn chairs like that in. We actually built have a temporary spotter stand. Usually we have our spotters in the grandstands, but our friends from Midland Trucking brought us in a truck, so we're going to kind of build that up and have spotters oversee the track and stuff. So that'll allow more people to be in the grandstands. If we can pull areas where we usually use seating areas for spotters, that actually allows another 40 people to sit down. So there's kind of some stipulations of how they measure and stuff like that. So we're still like, trying to finalize exactly what our number is, but we know about it's going to be a rough number. It'll be, it won't be a great sized crowd. It'll be, but it'll be a good crowd.
You mentioned, you keep saying the word friends, which I love, because your friends at Midland Trucking, your friends at Kuntz and Lumber, your friends at Weinstein Beverage, your sponsors, all of your significant sponsors, and even the ones that pony up a lot of, but they're still a significant part of the family, and I call it the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval family. They could have all just pulled out and said nerds to this, but they stuck with you, didn't they?
Oh yeah, it's amazing. I like the buildings back there. At some point, WW Pumping, there are guys that do all of our porta potties around here. Johnson Electric, Shane's helped us with the project before we had up here, stuff like that, and whether it's for financial, it's like they all support us financial in some way, but they also, like, when it came time to, like, hey, we're going to open and we needed help or small projects here, it's like, they help with the project, but I never see a bill sometimes or things like that. It's pretty amazing what they do, and they always want to know what they can do to help and how they can help and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny. I mean, I look around and every single board here, at some point these guys have helped us in some way, in either a small fashion or a big fashion.
And it's funny because we talk about that when we've had you on the show before many times. Again, we're talking to Jeremy Anders, the general manager here at the WVSO. It's a carryover from what goes on behind the pits, because these drivers, even though they're racing against each other, and there are some pretty healthy rivalries amongst the drivers in the classes, if somebody needs a shock absorber or something, they all come running, they all help out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a family. There's sometimes where it seems unfamily-like down there, but for the most part, it's a family. I mean, and a lot of the sponsors are racers as well, so it's all one giant family. We're all connected in some way, and the fans of some sort. I mean, I have fans who are just diehard fans who own businesses as well, who have offered up help and support. Last year when we needed help with manless, Star Rentals, I mean, Ken and those guys, they gave us manless for each of the races, so you guys could have a better view up top, or stuff like that. We've had our friends. Like Chad Holiday, we need a little help up here, so Chad's gonna come help with that. And I got tires coming in today, and I think we've got about 300 tires coming in. That's a big expense that people don't realize. We had to write a checkup for that, and drivers like, hey, if you need help unloading tires, well, 300 tires is a lot of tires to unload, and guys, all the racers like, yeah, we'll come help you unload, like that. So it's a family fun thing to do. And by the way, I wanted to apologize.
You look fine.
I dressed up for today. We're painting today. We're doing different things. So I am wearing my best attire that I can. So I think I have 4 different colors of paint from up here on this, and I even burnt myself this morning. We were torching some weeds down there. You can see.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So let's talk racing for just a minute here, Jeremy. I think most people understand what happened down in Yakima. The Yakima Raceway is probably a done deal now. I mean, they tried to hang on for as long as they could, but it looks like that's simply not going to happen anymore. How does that affect you on your race schedule? Do you got folks from down there in Yakima saying, hey, I want to race. Can I come up and track it out? How does the struggles down in Yakima affecting you guys as far as laying out a schedule for this year?
I was asked this question a couple weeks ago on KPQ, and I kind of sat there and he said, well, how is it? Does it help you business-wise? In business-wise, yeah, it's going to be beneficial. We're probably going to gain some racers and gain some fans like that. But it's personally, and you can ask myself or any of the racers in the Northwest or Garrett, it's personally not a thing we want to see. It's not something good for our sport. It's not good overall for racing in the Northwest. I mean, Yakima's been a historic track over 60 years.
And Garrett was very successful down there.
Garrett was very successful down there, stuff like that. We're gaining racers. We're gaining some racers from down there quite a bit, and some fans, stuff like that. I can kind of track the zip codes of where people are buying tickets from right now, and we're seeing quite a bit from down there. And sorry, my phone's going off. It's crazy. Work days over here are crazy. The fans and the racers are coming down here, but it's definitely not something we want to see. The nice thing is it looks like we're probably going to have some progression with Tri-Cities. I don't know if that'll happen this year or next year, which is really cool because that track closed back in 2004. But they have a great group of people looking to bring down there. And I'm sure once Tri-Cities opens up, it'll kind of take a little relief off of some of those Yakima people to give them a little shorter distance to travel. I think it's about an hour to the track from Yakima. So it's still, though, you're not going to get all the racers to travel down here or all the fans because we're 2 hours away.
Yeah.
But the people that really want to watch racing, they'll come down here. Hermiston is another track that's kind of in that mesh too. They're about 2 hours away from them. They were originally going to open on the 17th, same weekend as us. They're actually doing some repaving at their track, and there's still some Oregon things are up there, so they're actually not going to open until May 1st. With that, we're actually going to have some gains from the Hermiston people as well. So. Yeah.
We're going to be here on the 17th for the Spring Sizzler, the first race of the year. And outside of that, from what I looked, you have pretty much a full slate. Most of the favorites are back. Bump to Pass is back. Can't wait for that. That's going to be on the 15th, and May 15th we'll be up here for that. Any particular race that you didn't get to do last year that you can't wait to do this year?
There's two that I'm really hoping for. One, I think we have pretty good control that we can get it done for sure, is our boat race. Our boat race is really exciting. It's always a fan favorite. Bunt to pass early in the day, and then we do boat race at the end. The other one that I'm really hoping for, and it really depends on the Canadian border, is our truck race. Our truck race is our biggest crowd of the year. It's a very big financial beneficial for the track, beneficial for the truckers as well, and fans love it. It's a crazy one. You know, we get 12, 13 full-size semi-trucks out here
on a quarter-mile track.
On a quarter mile. I mean, at a certain point, it gets really the smoke is so heavy you can't see anything out there. The unfortunate thing about that is, of their trucks, only one of them is based in the United States. They're all up in Canada, Calgary, or Victoria or Vancouver, things like that. So if the border doesn't open, you know, by the end of June, then we may have to lose that one, or we're going to try to look to reschedule later in the year. But the border being, it's one of the sports probably that has the most transition back and forth between the U.S. and Canada is auto racing. I mean, there's some teams that got around it because they were in the quarantines like that, but that's if you're going for a big race, you know. But we have a lot of sprint car drivers that come down. That's really a big open wheel back and forth. We have legend drivers that go back and forth. So hopefully that opens back up, because it'll really make racing better for both us down here and them up there as well.
One last question for Jeremy Anders before we cut you loose, because I know you got to go back to burning yourself apparently. A viewer asked me this, and so I didn't have the answer, so I'm going to ask you. He has a young son and a daughter, for that matter. I think they're 7 and 8. They're kind of into racing. They're liking it, but they don't have any family tradition in racing. The family really doesn't know anything about it. I equate it with like hunting and fishing. If you went hunting and fishing with your dad, your uncle, or your grandpa, it kind of carries over in a generational thing.
You don't want to send me on like hunting or fishing.
No.
Or fishing I can do. Hunting I cannot do.
No, you cannot do. So the question that they asked me is, said, how do I get my kid? I said, I don't know anything about racing, but they're really curious about it, and they think they might want to get involved in racing here. How do you? Is there like what I did with some of the younger hunters in my family, because I don't hunt or fish? I just sent them off to the Wenatchee, to the Sportsman's Club, and they just took it from there. They're professionals. They're well-respected people. How do you get the younger kids who have absolutely no history of racing in their family, getting them involved? What's the starter steps for parents out there who think that Johnny or Jane might enjoy getting behind the wheel and racing?
Well, we can get them started as young as we need to in racing. That's the nice thing about that sport is, you know, you can find people racing as young as 4 years old in karts, all the way up to, you know, we had a racer here last year who was 78 years old. So actually, in our normal year, when we have the vintage guys here, we're going to be in the 80s as well. So it's a sport you can do your whole entire life. So our Bandolero class, we started about 8 years old in that class, and that class was really fun last year. We had 10, 12 cars.
A lot of fun.
We're looking at 17 to 18 of those cars this year, and we have 4 or 5 drivers who are brand new drivers who have never driven before, who are their rookie season, who are wanting to get into racing. And that's a great class there that they start out. The cars are really safe. It's full roll cages like that. You know, they're in a fire suit.
Automatic transmission.
Yeah. It's all really, really nice like that. Financially, it can be pretty good. Racing is, sometimes we call it a very expensive hobby. It's not, there's one in every couple thousand makes it to the big time, and then usually when it gets to that point, it gets expensive as well too. But the nice thing is we have a great group of family here in our racing family that, if somebody's interested, they can reach out to me and I can put them in touch with the right people. They say, hey, my kid's this old, or we're looking at this here, and I kind of say, hey, well, because there's kind of different classes you want to go into for different budgets. When you're 7 or 8, 9 years old, there's only kind of one option we have here, but there's other options out there in the Northwest, like quarter midget racing. Like my son does quarter midget racing. There's some people from here that will make their transition. They'll start in quarter midgets and they'll go to either like bandoleros or legend cars like that. There's kart racing. So, we have connections with all those people. So, if they're racing something, that's what we're happy about. So we got into the kart racing business this year. We did a big event down at Moses Lake this year. It was one of the biggest dirt karting events we've done in a while. So we're actually doing 4 of those next year. So we've kind of found that our off season now is not going to be off anymore. We're going to have events in the winter time.
We are excited. I cannot wait to be up here again for the Spring Sizzler on the 17th. I'll probably be up on the Scissor Lift, as I have been last summer. And then, of course, we'll be here on the 15th for Bump to Pass. Last word from Jeremy Anders. I'll let you take it home for our viewers. It's all yours, my friend.
I would say if you want to come to any of the events, you want to get your tickets right now on WVSO.com. There are limited tickets left for any of the events that we have. We have 3 of our first 3 events on there. It's kind of limited supply, and you can only be guaranteed a ticket by buying it online. The way it's looking right now will probably be sold out here before we open the gates for the first race. So get your tickets there and come check it out. We got ice cold beer, ice cold Pepsi, great double cheeseburgers, lots of good stuff up here at the track. Come check it out.
Jeremy Anders from the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Here's a marketing idea. Have Symphony Orchestra night here. Do it. Get together with the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra, and you could call it WVSO night at the WVSO.
There you
it's
go.
just a thought.
That'd be a great idea.
Yeah.
We get confused a little bit there, but yeah.
Yeah, they could perform out in the...
I don't know how will they be heard though. I don't know if we want to put them in the middle of the track. We could probably put a wall around them. They could play in the middle of the race.
I could see somebody standing up and go, I can't hear the flute. I can see that happen. Jeremy, I can't wait to see you on the 17th, my friend. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for all your guys' support.
Let's go racing. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
Crystal's Restaurant and Lounge in Leavenworth has a warm environment to enhance your dining experience. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Crystal's Intimate Lounge is a wonderful place to relax and dine with beautiful views of the mountains. Do you have a special occasion coming up? Call Crystal's to reserve their event space. Whether your event is grand, intimate, or casual, Crystal's provides unforgettable food and superb service. Crystal's Restaurant and Lounge, proud to be serving fabulous food and drinks. When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today. JDSA Law is a proud sponsor of these local sports broadcasts. They've been serving North Central and Eastern Washington since 1946. For over 70 years, their team of dedicated professionals has delivered quality, innovative legal services. JDSA Law partners with you to provide the finest legal advice and support as you navigate your personal and business challenges, risks, and accomplishments. At JDSA Law, they salute our local athletes and wish them well on another excellent season of competition.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in North Central Washington since 1998. Mary Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Mary Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Mary Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
Couple of minutes left on this Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. Temperatures around the region. Downtown Wenatchee, 47 degrees. Moses Lake's at 54. Freddie, you're checking in at 48 degrees. Cashmere, 42. Beautiful morning. Dryden, you're at 41 degrees. That's downtown Dryden. Suburban Dryden, also at 41 degrees. And we are in for a beautiful weekend. The timing is going to be perfect because things are going to change Sunday night. After the weekend is a done deal. Yeah, get ready for a cold front coming in. All things are relative. Here's a quick slide that the National Weather Service sent down to us that we're going to show to you. So again, beautiful weather today, tomorrow, all day Sunday. We are going to break a record high almost certainly today, almost certainly on Saturday. Sunday, not too sure about that. Still going to be in the low 80s for the Wenatchee Valley. And then a cold front will come in late Sunday night into early Monday morning, so we'll be sleeping when the cold front comes in. It's going to make things a tad breezy. It's also going to bring us cooler temps, but all things are relative as you look at the forecast because it's going to be cooler, but still well above normal. We almost set a record high yesterday, going to set a record high today. Here is your forecast from the National Weather Service, and it looks something like that. Sunshine, 78. If we get to that 78, that would be a record high. Our record high for this date, 76. Set back in 1999. 83 on Saturday, 83 on Sunday. Cold front comes in on Sunday night, so Monday will be right around 70 degrees. But keep in mind, our normal high this time of the year is 62. Any way you look at it, sunny and warm. That's it for us. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.